Okay, guys. Yesterday we were identifying conics. Today we're going to wrap this up. Okay, we're going to wrap up conics today. Okay, so we already learned how to identify conics. So what we're going to do today is we're going to identify them, rewrite them, and graph them. Okay, we're going to put it all together today. And first things first, before you even start trying to rewrite the equation, you have to determine what kind of a conic it is. And we talked about these yesterday, okay? In this one, we always are looking for the x squared and the y squared, basically. That's the easy way to wrap this up. So what's this going to be here? Danny? What is this going to be? An ellipse. Okay, don't look up there. It's right here in your paper. Okay, so it is an ellipse. Yes, how can you tell it's an ellipse, guys? X squared and y squared are the same sign, but they have different coefficients. Perfect. So let's complete the square here, guys. Let's complete the square. So I got x squared plus 2x plus 1 squared. That's b over 2 squared. And then you see how I have the 4 here attached to that y? I'm going to go ahead and factor out that 4. So I got y squared minus 6y plus negative 3 squared equals negative 33. I had to bring that guy over. Now here's the part that messes up a lot of people. Please don't forget to add the b over 2 squared and also multiply that to whatever you factored out. Great job, sir. So this is going to be plus a 1 squared plus a 4 times a negative 3 squared. Does everyone see how I did that? Okay, so that's going to give me in the end x plus 1 squared over 4 plus y minus 3 squared over 1 equals 1. Okay? Everyone have that? Okay? All right, now, let's graph it. This is an ellipse, so what's my A? 2. Very good. What's my center? What's my HK? Okay, so we first go to negative 1, 3. Negative 1, 1, 2, 3. And then my A is 2. So is this going to be a vertical or a horizontal ellipse? Horizontal becomes the higher exponent is the x. Good job. So we're going to go to the right, 1, 2. To the left, 1, 2. Okay. What is my B? 1. So I go up 1. It's my co-vertex. Down 1. And boom, done. If I asked for the foci, what is the formula for the foci of this kind of an ellipse? Sir, c squared, that is not the foci of an ellipse. What is the foci of an ellipse? Very good. The foci for a horizontal ellipse is h plus or minus c comma k. C squared equals a squared minus b squared is only to find the c squared value. If I wanted the foci, I would find the c value and then plug it in. But it just said to graph it, so we're good. Okay, next. 4x squared minus 4y squared minus 9. What kind of a shape is this, first of all? This is not a circle. This is a hyperbola. Just because you have the same coefficients, one is positive and one is negative, that is a hyperbola. So that is going to be wrong if you guys did that, gentlemen. All right, so this one's quite interesting. This is 4x squared minus 4y squared equals 9, okay? I'm going to divide both sides by 4. So I got x squared minus y squared equals 9/4. But I know that this is an ellipse, man. I mean, a hyperbola. What am I talking about? I know that this is a hyperbola. So what I'm going to do is this. Okay, if I were to divide by 9, first of all, Papa, I'm going to have 4/9 x squared and 4/9 y squared. I can't have that. Okay, nothing can be in front of the x or the y in a hyperbola. So what am I going to do? I'm just going to divide both sides by 9/4. So in the end, that'll be a 9/4 here and a 9/4 here. And this goes to 1. That's my equation. Now I want to graph this, okay? So what's my first of all, is this a horizontal or a vertical hyperbola? Horizontal because the x is positive. Notice that the denominators are the same. So it's not like in the ellipse where a is greater than b or b is greater than a. No, it's whoever's first, whoever's positive. So this is a horizontal hyperbola. What is the a? Well, what is the center? What's my center, hk? 0, 0. So my center is 0, 0. What's my a? 3/2, so that's 1.5. So go 1.5 to the right, 1.5 to the left. Okay? What is my b? What is my b? Huh? And actually, wait, guys. Wait, this is wrong. Yeah, it's 1.5, right, because it's 3 halves. So I go up 1.5, down 1.5. Now remember, make my box. Create my asymptotes, going to the corners in the center. Boom, and boom. Don't worry. Does that make sense, guys? Are you sure? Okay, because what's happening here is we created our asymptotes, and now we just connected it to our vertices. Does that make sense, my friends? Excellent, excellent. Okay, may I continue? Awesome. All right, guys, let's keep going. All right, I got x squared minus 4x minus y. What kind of a conic is this? How do we know? That's it. Only one variable is being squared. It can be x that's being squared or y that's being squared, but when only x or y are being squared, we're talking about a parabola, right, guys? All right. So, what do we do? How do we put this into quadratic, into Conic's form? Fantastic. You're going to move y, and we're going to complete the square. So I'm going to have my x squared minus 4x plus negative 2 squared, good job, b over 2 squared, equals y plus 4, the negative 2 squared. Remember, my brothers, you got to, whatever you add to one side, you got to add to the other side. When you complete that square, you got to go b over 2 squared to both sides. You with me? Yeah. All right. So now we're going to have x minus 2 squared equals y plus 4. Okay. Now, I know that parabolas are the ones that we don't like that much, okay? But that's okay. Just have a sequence of what to do, okay? First of all, the a is very important in the parabola, isn't it? Yeah, because without the a, we're not going to be able to get our vertices. We're not going to be able to get the directrix. We're not going to be able to get much. So we know that that's 4a, correct? So 4a equals 1. So what does a equal? Okay, golden. That's perfect. I'm going to erase this top part, guys. Is that cool? Okay, so I got a little bit more space. All right, good stuff. So I know that my a is 1/4. I know this is a parabola. What is my center here, gentlemen? My hk, or my vertex? 2, negative 4. That's absolutely right. So let's go ahead and graph it, right? So we got 2, 1, 2, 3, and negative 4. Is everyone with me so far? You got this? All right, awesome. Now, next, after the vertex, what do we usually find? The focus. Very good. And what is the focus of a parabola? That is, of course, an x squared. Yes! Good job, guys. H comma k plus a. Awesome, guys. See, it's not that bad. If you practice this, it's not that bad. And remember what we said, connections, connections, connections. The h's are going to be the same, right? Right? Always. All right. So, what is my foci then? It's going to be 2, comma, k is negative 4 plus a is 1/4. What's negative 4 plus a fourth? Negative 3 and 3/4. Very good. Okay. What else do we need? My directrix. Very good. And my directrix, since this is an x squared, is it going to be a y equals or an x equals? That's a y equals. And y is going to equal in this case, anyone remember? Yes, k minus a. And remember, this is k plus a for the focus, k minus a for the directrix. K is negative 4 minus 1/4 is going to be? Absolutely. Now it's Mickey Mouse time, right? Now it's easy. We already have our vertex, okay? We have my focus, which is 2, negative 3, and 3/4. So it's a little bit, I'll put it in green. It's a little bit above that guy right there. Okay, that's my focus. What's my latus rectum length here? Absolutely. So I'm going to go half to the right. Sorry, there's a little tiny graph here. And half to the left. My directrix is y equals negative 4 1/4. So that's going to be right under here. Connect the dots. And boom, you got yourself a parabola. Does that make sense, guys? Is it getting a little bit easier now that you've been practicing and practicing and practicing? Yes?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You doing okay here?
Yes.
Got it? Awesome. All right. Let's move on, boys. Okay. Next. What kind of a quadratic am I dealing with here? I'm sorry. What kind of a conic am I dealing with here, not a quadratic? Circle, why? How do you know? Yes. Okay, x squared and y squared. They're both positive. They have the same coefficient. Fantastic. Let's complete the square, guys. Talk to me. What do? X squared minus 2x. Excellent. Equals? My bad. I have a y squared there too, right? So I have my y squared. Do I have to complete the square for that? What lets you know that you're good just there? There's no regular y. Very good, guys. You guys are doing great. This equals 8 plus my 1. So I've got x minus 1 squared plus y squared equals 9. What's my center here? What's my HK in this case? Oh, yeah. 1, 0. And what's my radius here, guys? 3. So remember, 3 to the right, 3 up, 3 to the left, and 3 down, and boom. You got a nice perfect circle. Good? You sure? Because now you're going to come up. You good? All right. You ready to come up? You ready for this? All right. We won't record you so you don't get embarrassed. We'll just record the final answer. Is that fair? All right. Okay, this was student created. Number 5 is an ellipse. The equation is stated right here. You have your A, which is correct, your B, which is correct. It's a horizontal ellipse because A is larger than B. My center is 3, 1, and that is the graph of the ellipse. Does that make sense? Any questions before we pause and go on to the next student? Okay. This is not a conic section, guys. I'm going to tell you why. You may say to me, but wait, hold on, Moro. But there's an x squared. Yeah, but is there a y? You need a y and an x in order for there to be a conic section. So that would not be a conic. There is no graph for that because it's not a conic section. Okay, now, my brother, come on up. I'm going to pause again so you have no embarrassment. Come on up. Okay, guys, sorry. We showed you, I think, already that number 6 was not a conic. It's not a conic because there's no y. All right? And then for number 7 here, we have a lot of stuff here. So let me just go over this for the viewers at home. This is my equation. Okay? I have my A, my vertex, my focus, and my directrix. And then I graphed it. And now we're going to move on to our next student. Let's do it, guy. You got this. Okay, guys. Here we go. This was a hyperbola. Here's my equation. These blue lines, I was doing something with the kids. He did have them dashed in green. Okay, those are my asymptotes. And I have my hyperbola going through the vertex right here. Boom, boom. Perfect. Great job. Thank you very much. Awesome, awesome, awesome.